Okay, this is gone.
So that house, your son and your granddaughter. Okay. Is that your son's daughter?
All right. How we doing?
Better him than
Everybody
me.
okay? First of all, I want to thank you all for coming. And this is an amazing night tonight. I go back with Toby about 50 years. It's only 30, maybe 43 years. But anyway, it's wonderful to get together here in this kind of environment and to hear an accomplished musician. Pete Zeta, please sit down. Thank you. And Tom Rooney, get his home number. Okay. Find your seat, Ken. Ken, stop talking to that guy. You sit down. Security gets watching. But anyway, listen, I'm very thankful to have Toby come all the way out here from New Jersey. Toby has an amazing career, tremendous history. He's played with some of the finest blues musicians on the planet. Okay, and I'm not exaggerating at all. Toby is he's a Long Island boy. He's one of us. And I'm honored to have him here. And without further ado, I'd like to give him a nice welcome. And he's going to tickle your ears. All right? Great. Thank you.
Hi. This is so cool. Live music without masks. I like this, right? I'm going to do a version of this guy named Freddie King, great electric guitar blues player, and I did an arrangement of his tune called Hideaway. Sonny, do I have time for one more?
Yeah, but making it short.
All right, let's slow it down a little bit. It's all about a guy that I wish I was. Yeah, he walks right, and he talks right, and he makes the ladies feel real fine. He's got a way with the women, and he just got away with mine. He drives a big car, just like a big star, and he plays guitar just like a bluesy guy. He's got away with the women, he just got away with mine. Well, he doesn't need any suit of armor, he doesn't need to ride in on any white steed. He's got all the right moves, I sure wish he was me. I said he walks right, and he talks right, and he makes the ladies, he's gonna make them feel fine. He's got away with the women, and he just got away with mine. Now let me tell you something about a guy like this. Let's see now, who can I pick on here? I'm going to pick on the man holding the camera right here, okay? Now, sir, is that woman with you? Isn't she your wife, your girlfriend?
Yes.
Which one?
All of the above.
Well, if this guy that I'm singing about, if he's walking down the same sidewalk and you two are walking this way, you better put your arm around her right now. Just hold the camera. You better hold it close, because this guy is going to look at her and he's going to go like this. And he even may do this. Take you to all the right places, treat you like a doggone queen. Yeah, he can cover all the bases and fulfill your every dream. He doesn't fuss, he's in no rush, and he knows how to take his time. He's got away with the women, and he just got away with mine. Thanks, hold on. I was on a job, I get a call from a man named Phil Wiggins. I don't know how many people have ever heard of a guy named Phil Wiggins, but he's probably one of the best blues harmonica players in the world. And he calls me up, and he says, Toby, I got a job at this restaurant in Manhattan, and he paid really good money. He says, why don't you come down and back me up? I got a violin player. I said, great. And he says, we're going to do some Fats Waller songs.
Yeah.
You know any Fats Waller tunes? I said, yeah, I know some Fats Waller tunes. And he says, yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we did this one, and I put together this arrangement for it. It's called Lulu's Back in Town. Yeah, gotta get my old tuxedo press. Get that button sewn on my vest. Cause tonight I gotta look my best. Lulu's back in town. Gotta get a $50 somewhere. Shine my shoes, slick back my hair. Get myself that booty air. Lulu's back in town. Tell all of my pets, my blondes and brunettes, I'll send my regrets. I won't be around and tell that mailman not to call. I won't be back until the fall. Man, I won't be back at all when Lulu's back in town. Chambermaid, what did she do with my razor blade? She mislaid it, I'm afraid. Now it's gotta be found. And when did she make up my room? What did she do with my good perfume? I can't lose it, I gotta use it, cause Lulu's back in town. Tell all of my pets, my Harlem croquettes, I'm gonna send my regrets. I won't be around. Tell that mailman not to call. I won't be back until the fall. I'm not coming back at all when Lulu's back in town. Lulu's back in town. Lulu, she back in. Thank you. Thanks. Now, Sonny may have mentioned that I went down into the Deep South and spent about 4 years going back and forth. At the time, I lived in Huntington, and going down into Mississippi and visiting with some of these old-time blues artists and learning as much as I could from them. And there's this one guy I want to tell you about. His name was James Thomas. Everybody called him Son. And a friend of mine said that he lived in Leland, Mississippi. And he says, you just go down there, start asking around. Well, that's usually what I did. I would go down into a little town. I would ask around, I'd go to a local barber shop, I'd go into some little bars. But I was going down there, and the first guy I saw on the street, I said, sir, I'm looking for a man. He's about 71, 72 years old. His name's James Son Thomas. He's a guitar player. The guy says, oh yeah, Son, I know where he is. He's at the Chicken Shack in the middle of town. I said, thanks. I didn't know what a chicken shack was. I drive to the middle of the town, and it's a small town. And there's this big, it was like a round circle of just a litter and grass and everything. On the other side, there were these stores that were boarded up. And to my right was a Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I'm thinking, okay. I walk in there, and there's all white folks there. I'm thinking, what is a 72-year-old old black blues man doing hanging out in here? I went up to the manager. I said, I'm looking for a 72, 73-year-old guy named James Son Thomas. He plays blues guitar. He says, oh, yeah. Well, let's see now. James, he's not here right now. He's at the Chicken Shack. And I said, are you sure? He goes, well, I'll make sure. And he goes, Emma, come on out here. And this girl, she had to be 17. He says, Emma, what's your boyfriend's name? And she said, James. And I'm like, no. The guy I'm looking for is in his 70s. Well, that's my boyfriend. I said, well, where is he? He's at the Chicken Shack. I said, where? She brings me out to the front, and she points across that littered field. The store in the middle, that one wasn't boarded up, but there's no sign. So I walk across this field, I walk in there, I open up the door, and it's nothing like Kentucky Fried Chicken. This is cement floor, an old tin ceiling, mix and match patio furniture, and all these black farmers. And I'm looking around to see if I could spot Jan. Walk over to the cook, and I said, I'm looking for James' son Thomas. He goes, oh yeah, he's usually here, but he's home now. I said, well, I want to take a guitar lesson. I heard it. Yeah. And he brings me out and he says, all right, you see the water tower says Leland? I said, yeah, I see. You're like, get down there, make a left. Halfway down the street, you're going to see a Cadillac, a white Cadillac. That's where he lives. I think he drives a white Cadillac? No, that thing hasn't run in 37 years. But that's in front of his house. So I literally get to the water tower and make a left. There's an old, rusted, on cinder blocks, not kidding you, up on the front lawn. And I park my car, I walk up to his shotgun shack. It's just an old sharecropper shack. I open up the porch door, and I walk across the porch and knock on the front door. And I hear this. On the other side of that door, I'm stepping back, and I hear, who's that? You don't know me, Mr. Thomas. I'm Toby Walker. I come from New York. I want to take a... He opens the door, and this 7-foot, 27-inch white Akita dog charges, hits me in the chest. I fall down on the porch. He's like, right here, and then it's like, and he starts licking my face. And James looks at me and says, that's my dog Snowball. He usually doesn't like white folks. You can't make this up. And I'm laying there. So go inside, and I said, James, I want to take a guitar lesson. He says, okay, where's your guitar? I go back and get my guitar, come in there. Now, I know we have guitar players here. This is why I'm choosing to do this one. All right, James is going to, he says, I'm going to teach you a song called 61 Highway. That's the one you just drove in now. I said, okay, great. He says, all right, you're going to start off with this E chord. I said, all right, I got it. Now you're going to go to this one. I said, what's the name of that one? He says, I don't know. Now go to this one. I wasn't going to ask him about that, right? Go back to the... I said, all right. And they said, when you get back to the E chord, do this. So, all right. Says, now you're going to go to your A flat. Now, I know we got some guitar players here. What chord is that? It's a what? It's an A. Okay, that's what I know it is. I said, well, isn't that an A? He says, no, it's an A flat. I said, why is that an A flat? He says, because your finger's flat. A flat. Got it. And you do this. I said, all right. He says, now you're going to go back to your E chord. Now you're going to go to this one. I wasn't going to ask him if it was a thumb flat or something. I just said, okay, great. Then go back to your A flat. And then when you get back to your E, you're going to go. I went, all right. He says, that's good. Now, in the middle of the song, I'm going to teach you my secret note. I was like, okay. When do I know that's coming? I'm going to wink when I play. You can't make this up, okay? So I'm going to play the tune that he showed me. I'm going to play it exactly the way he showed it to me that day. Yeah, now 61 highway, longest road that I know. I said 61 highway, longest road that I know. You know it starts up in Chicago, goes down to the Gulf of Mexico. say you can love me or leave me any way you wanna do. You can love me or leave me any way you wanna do. You know I'd rather you leave me than to live a life of misery. Catch that? That was his note. He went like he winked at me. That was his secret note. And I said, well, that's pretty cool. He says, all right, now you do it. I said, all right, I got to get back to the E chord first. And I even winked at him. I even went like that. And he got a big charge out of that one. Well, you know, it starts up in Chicago, goes down to the Gulf of Mexico. Thanks a lot. Thank you. And I got another story about this other guy named Jack. I'm going to let that one go. Anyway, I'd like to introduce the band. All right, that's it. That's the entire band, okay? This is my call. It's the band in my hand. We were talking about this earlier. I don't have to pay anybody else to come up here with me, all right? This is my bass player right here. I'm going to demonstrate this whole thing on an instrumental I wrote called Swing Bean. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the guitar into a swing band right in front of your eyes. So we're going to have a bass player. I got a clarinet player. Got a rhythm guitar player. Got a lead guitar player. I'll bring in a horn section too, and then a drummer. So here we go.
it's not just in time, it's Ted Turner.
That's what I was doing. Didn't make any difference before
Ted Turner,
this.
not just in time. That's what Ted.
I'm going to do an old tune by Muddy Waters called Baby Please Don't Go. And you're going to hear in there, it's all about a guy who gets sentenced to work on a prison farm. And he doesn't want anybody coming near his woman. And you're going to hear a verse in there called Turn Your Lamp Down Low. Turn your lamp down low. And it's a common verse in a lot of blues songs, but what this means is he wants his woman to turn that lamp down low because he doesn't want some guy looking in the window and seeing his girl. So this is Baby Please Don't Go. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go down to New Orleans. I love you so. Turn your lamp down low. Turn your lamp down low. Turn your lamp down low. Baby, please don't go. I love you so. Don't you call my name. Don't you call my name. Don't you call my name. I'm going way down here, but I'm in ball and chain. They got me way down here. Got me way down here. They got me way down here by the rolling farm, baby. Thank you so much. So I was with a bunch of these different blues bands years ago, and I'll never forget this one that we were in. We were playing a lot of these little bars and everything, and we started to get a following. Not the usual following, it was a following of bikers. Now, this was the Suffolk County, New York chapter of the Pagans. All right, these guys weren't just like hobbyists. All right, you know, they would trade like motorcycle parts for their girls. I mean, these guys were hardcore. And you know, we'd start out with 6 or 7 of them in the club, and then another place of 8 or 9. And we got into Astoria, and there's 25 bikes parked out in the front. And you know, we said, well, okay, this, you think of pagans, you're in trouble. See, nobody wants to start trouble in a bar with the pagans. Everything was cool all the time, except for this one time, We're in the bar. We played our first set. Everybody's having what we think is having a great time. I'm at the bar with my friend Larry, who was the leader of the band, and the owner leans over and says, you know, not really doing well this weekend. I don't think I can pay you the full amount for tomorrow night. And Larry says, what are you talking about? Well, you know, I'm not making that. He says, these guys drink. Don't give us that you're not making any money. He goes, well, no, look, I just can't pay. And Larry says, well, then we're packing up and we're going now. With that, I hear this voice from behind me say, what's the problem? And I turn, and this guy's like this, and Larry, without even missing a beat, says, he's not paying us, so we're leaving. And this guy leans up, what do you mean you're not paying the band? This is our band. And the owner says, I don't want you guys in there, and with that, the guy grabs the owner and hauls him up. I remember this because I spilled my beer all over. And he hauls him over the bar, holding him like this. He says, you're gonna pay the band. We don't want them to, he was saying something like that. And the owner's freaking out. Meanwhile, the bouncer is pinned to the wall by 2 or 3 other bikers. And then this guy comes out with the smartest thing. Because the owner said, I'm gonna call the police, And he said, you think we're afraid of the police? Think about what we're gonna do to this club. It'll be splinters by the time the police get here. So what's gonna cost you more? Paying the band or having this entire place rebuilt? And the guy's like, all right, let me talk in the office with Larry. Larry comes back and he says, not only are we getting paid for tonight and tomorrow night, he knows he's making money. He's gonna hire us a whole bunch more times. So we used to do things like this. Yeah, you talk about your woman, man, I wish you could see mine. Every time she gets to loving, she bringing eyesight to the blind. Yeah, her daddy was a millionaire. You ought to see the way she walked. Daddy was a millionaire. You ought to see the way she walked. Every time she gets to loving, she make a deaf and dumb boy talk. I remember one Friday morning, a little girl making him a bed. The man in the next room, he fell down and he hit his head. He said, man, ain't she pretty? The whole world knows she fine. Every time she gets to loving, she bringing eyesight to the blind. Yeah, this is a smoking band. The Last Chance Blues Band. You ever hear the Last Chance Blues Band? This was back in the 70s. You have? Yeah, Larry.
Larry.
Maybe under the lights now.
Hold on, yeah, we actually go. Under the lights. We'll turn it on. All the way, baby. This is big time over here.
You got it. This next tune is, it was recorded in 1930 by a guy named Tampa Red. If you wanted to buy a record in 1930, you'd go to a furniture store, because that's where they sold the Victrolas. And when they sold the Victrolas, the way to get you in there is they'd say, look, if you buy that Victrola, we're going to give you a few 78s to go with it. So if you bought a Victrola back then and you came home and you put that record on, you would have heard this tune called the Boogie Woogie Dance. And then I'm going to improvise in the middle of it, but here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, this really happened. I'm up there playing the Parrot years ago. I get done with my set. Yona comes up to me and says, when are you going to start playing songs people know? So I was like, what? Some kids here? Oh, wise ass back there, you know? So I turned around and I said, well, you know, if you invite everybody here, the next time I'm here, then they'll all know my songs. He says, I want you to get back up there. I want you to play things people know or you're fired. So I'm going to play the one song that everybody knows right now. I want to get fired. Then again, he was such a jerk, I didn't care. All right, so this is an old English folk song. you. Thanks, man. Thanks. So the guy comes up and says, "You're fired." I said, "That's what I said." I said, "What? What are you talking about? That was Norwegian Wood." He said, "You didn't sing it." And there was some guy standing there with an acoustic guitar that came up right after me, and I'm packing up, didn't get paid, and I had to leave. Now, he went out of business a few years later. I'm still standing.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
Let's hear it for originality here.
I was the guy after you.
What's that
I
saying?
was the guy after you.
I knew you some. Now you're paying me back. I'm gonna do a little Ray Charles number. It should have been me. Dedicate this one to you, Sonny. As I was standing by this little hotel, I seen this gal, she sure looked swell. I gave her the eyes, start to carry on. A Cadillac pulls up. She was gone, and it should have been me with that real fine girl. You know that should have been me driving that Cadillac. A little later on, maybe about 5 minutes past, I seen another gal, she had a lot of class. I was about to write her name in my book, and her husband comes by and giving me a dirty look, and I said, "It should be me. Yeah, it should have been me." I said, "That should have been me driving that Cadillac." Standing on the corner was a real sharp cat, an Armani suit and a Stetson hat. Gal on his left, another on his right. He had a blonde for the daytime, a brunette for the night. It should have been me. Yeah, it should have been me. I said that should have been me driving that Cadillac. Oh, say it like that. Okay, until I saw Sonny over there in this little cafe. He was eating himself a T-bone steak, and he had a fine, foxy blonde feeding him ice cream and cake. Sandy, did you dye your hair back then or no? Yeah, it wasn't you, but it should have been me. Should have been me. I said it should have been me eating the ice cream and cake. It should have been me with that real fine gal. It should have been me driving that Cadillac. I said I'd get you back. So years ago, I wrote this one time. How many people planning today's Saturday? How many people planning on going to church tomorrow?
We all are.
Yeah.
Planning on it.
How many people get on the internet? Raise your hand. All right, so this song is really for you. You know, because if you don't want to go to church, you can do it all online.
Oh, that's true.
So that it is
That's
true.
it.
That's you. You go to church online.
I'm bringing it to the house.
Well, then this song's perfect for you. I wrote this years ago called "Give Me That Online Religion." Instead of old time, give me that online religion, and then it goes at god.com. Now, I have a great friend. He's a great songwriter. Lives in Huntington. His name's Tom Griffith. And with the age of COVID, we decided to change it all around. So here we go. I was fine when they told me to keep my social distance, but when they said don't go to church, I put up some resistance. My reason to keep going was anything but vague. You don't want to snub the Lord in the middle of a plague. Then one day I saw this preacher on the satellite TV. He said, you want to save your soul? Well, listen here to me. He said, go right to my website and there you will find salvation for your weary soul through America Online. Give me that online religion. Give me that online religion. Give me that online religion. god.com. My picture is so sharp, it's like I'm right there in the scene. But just to play it safe, I'll stay 6 feet from the screen. And I'll join in with gusto when they sing Amazing Grace. But I'll fold my hands in prayer so I won't touch my face. Give me that online religion. Give me that online religion. Give me that online religion. god.com. Here. I think I did this song, it was in a church, believe it or not. And when I sang this next verse, I swear to God, there was a big brass oak cross hanging directly over my head. And people started doing this when they're watching me on the stage. The cross was moving back and forth. I suppose the Lord was really upset with me when he heard this next verse. Now, ladies of the websites, I no longer miss. Instead, I find it interesting witnessing a bris. And you're from Long Island, you know what a bris is, right? The further south I go, they don't know what a bris is. In England, they have no freaking idea what a bris is. I did this in Plainview, they all knew what a bris was. Yeah, and when it comes to tithing, hell, that's not hard. Instead of a collection plate, you give them your MasterCard. Give me that online religion. Give me that online religion. Give me that online religion. god.com. I need my glasses for this one. I'm going to do a couple of old, from the 30s. These songs I guess everybody knows. They're not in the top 40. I figure I have the bottom 40 all to myself. Everybody's doing top 40. Here we go. You'll probably recognize this one. Thank you. You know this one too. So I was playing, matter of fact, it now called the Checkerboard, but it was called the New Moon Cafe in Setauket. I don't know if you knew that little club. It was a little club where used to play a couple of times a month, and I used to do 3-hour sets. It was just a crazy place to play. And I remember I'm playing this one set, and I started it off with maybe 3 songs, and the owner of the place, now the waiter came up and he said, "There's a woman that just bought you a drink at the bar." So I decided to end that set after 3 songs and go over to the bar to get my drink. It makes sense. Except the woman standing there at the bar, she had long blonde hair and a white leather miniskirt and white leather boots and a tight little black jacket, and standing on both sides were the meanest looking guys you've ever seen in your life. I decided I wasn't going to go over and introduce myself. I went back and started playing again. True story. About 10 songs later or something, I see them leaving, all 3 of them. And then these 2 guys came back with her boots. Did I mention it was snowing out? And I've told this story many times. And I was telling this in a theater in Huntington. And some woman yells out, "I know that woman!" And it was so nice that somebody could validate that it's not a BS story. So I wrote this song because she was always, every time, she would always be going home with somebody else. I wrote this song called "Who's Gonna Be Your Sweet Man Tonight?" I want to know. Yeah, now who's gonna be, baby, your sweet man tonight? Yeah, I said, who's gonna be your sweet man tonight? Wherever that gal goes, you know somebody gonna start a fight. You know, I know this little lady, she sure is mighty fine. One thing about her, she's not exactly mine. I said, who's gonna be your sweet man tonight? Wherever that gal goes, somebody gonna start a fight. He's got a jealous husband, he's always on the prowl. No matter where he looks, he could never find that gal. I said, who's gonna be your sweet man tonight? Wherever that gal goes, somebody gonna start. She got long blonde hair, she got her ruby red lips. Drives men wild when she shaking her hips. I said, who's gonna be? I said, who's gonna be your sweet man tonight? Yeah, wherever that gal goes, somebody gonna start her. So I'm going to tell you another story about finding another one of those old timers. This guy's name was Jack Owens. And I had a friend down in Clarksdale who would give me these little hints. He'd say, hey, I know another guy, I know another guy. So I drove back up to Huntington, and a couple of months later, my friend calls me up and he says, I know this guy named Jack Owens. He's about 80-something years old. He's still teaching the old style of playing. And he lives in Bentonia. I said, okay, great. Bentonia is south of Leland along the Mississippi. He says, yeah, you know that. I said, well, what's his address? I don't have his address. I have his phone number. I said, great. So I call up Jack Owens because I want to figure out where he lives. This is how the phone call went. Jack? Yeah, you don't know me. My name's Toby Walker. I'm from New York, and I want to come down and take a guitar lesson or two from you. I'll pay you and everything. Can you? He says, yeah, okay, all right, come on down. And he hangs up. So I drive 2.5 days down to Bentonia, Mississippi. I have no idea where he is. Bentonia, you look it up, there's only maybe about 6 or 7 streets. And there's one main street. And on the main street, there's this grocery store. It said Toby's Foods. Not kidding you. So I went in there to get on the remember payphones? Yeah. Went there to get in on the payphone.
Loved it. Quarter.
That was a
Dime.
No, it was a quarter. This was 1993.
Yes, it was a quarter. Definitely 1993. Hands down. Yes.
You're my secretary now.
Definitely a quarter.
So anyway, I take this, I get into the store, I take out my quarter, I put it into the thing, and I dial, because I figure he has to live within these blocks. And I get on the phone, and I'm waiting. Jack? Yeah. Well, I'm Toby Walker. Remember I called you about 4 days ago? Yeah, I do. Okay, look, I'm in the grocery store, Toby's Foods. Look, how do I get to your house from here? Well, you go back and go down and go in there and make it down. And you're going to keep on going down and see there, you're going to see the little church all the people. What? And then when you keep going down the church, you're going to take the left forward. You didn't let that forward, you keep on down, and you can see the little there. And I'm like, could you slow down? When you see that old tree now, you're going to keep going down about 7. Now don't get lost. Click. Did anyone catch any of that? Yeah. I'm standing there with the phone in my hands, and the owner of the store is right here. And he says, son, I don't mean to be rude. I did over here. You looking for that old guitar player, sharecropper, Jack Owens? Yeah. You want to take a guitar lesson, right? Yeah. Nobody understands him on the phone. I'll tell you how to get there. We get out to the front of this place. This is up on my web. Just Google Toby Walker, Jack Owens. You'll see all the pictures. He says, all right, now, go down here in the street there. You see that big old shade tree? Yeah. Make a left. Now, I'm writing this down. Okay, got it. Keep going down. You're going to see all these fields. In the middle of this one field, you're going to see an old abandoned church. Go around that church. The road is fork. You make a left on the fork. Make a left on the fork. Got it. Now where? Keep going down that road, and you're going to see a big old dead tree in the middle of a field. Nothing grows around that tree. It's dead. It's spooky. Spooky tree. Now go 7 looks down that road, and Jack will find you. 7 looks. 7 what? 7 looks. Okay, what's a look? He says, well, get to the tree, look down the road as far as you can see, and drive to that point. That's your first look. And you do that 6 more times, Jack will find you. Right. Okay. So I get in my car, I drive to the shade tree. Now I do this for middle school kids, so let's see if you guys follow along. Now which way do I go? Right, left, which way? You know, a 14-year-old's a lot smarter than you. I make a left. I keep going. I see this church. Very good. I go around the back of the church. The road forks. Which way do I go now? Guys are really good. I get to that dead tree. How many looks?
7.
I am driving all over freaking Mississippi. All right, there's roads that go this way, they curve this way, they go up hills, they go over a little bridge. I'm losing count. I had to have been driving for an hour or so. I'm up to number 38 in the counting. I stop the car, I take out a map. Maps are useless. They didn't have GPS then. I stop another place, I stop another place. I'm standing there with the map in my hand outside the car, and I hear, "Hey! Hey!" And I look, and it's this guy about this big. He's like, "Are you Toby?" I'm like, "You must be Jack." "Yeah, I am." "Now, you come on over here. Who you call over here?" So I pull down that little dirt road. I pass this little gate, and I park my car up on, there's no lawn. It's just all grass, weeds, and dirt and everything. Pull it. He gets up on his front porch, and he says, "So what do you want?" I said I wanted to take a guitar. He said, "A guitar lesson? Really? Huh. I can't do that." I just drove 4 days, 7 looks, a freaking dead tree, and then he goes, "Now, my neighbor came by here last week. He wanted me to cut down some of his bushes." I said, "I can't do that. I have an old leg. It's all stiff and everything. And I can't teach you guitar because my fingers are cramped too." That fella gave me $100 and some whiskey, and my leg was all better. Sure wish I could help you. So I go in the back of the car, right? I opened up the trunk. I had cameras, I had video stuff, notebooks. I was taking copious notes, and a bottle of whiskey, which I used for research purposes only.
Amen.
And I poured it, and he's like this. He goes, "I still got the cramps." I said, "Right." And I take out $100. I hand it to him. And he goes, "Yeah, I'll teach you some guitar now." I swear to God, if you go up on my website, just Google Toby Walker Jack Owens, you will see the dead tree, the shade tree, the old church. You'll see Jack, and you'll see him sitting on his porch with that coffee cup. Now in the middle schools, thanks buddy, how come this isn't whiskey? In the middle schools, I even tell them that there's whiskey in there. They don't care. So I'm going to play this old Mississippi tune that he showed me, and it's called Hard Time Killing Floor Blues. Now, a man named Skip James had recorded this in the 30s, and it was rediscovered in the early 60s. And the Cream, remember them?
Yeah.
They recorded a few of this guy's songs, Skip's songs. And I asked Jack, I said, "Where did Skip live?" He goes, "He lived right down the road." I said, "You must have learned from him." He goes, "I taught Skippy everything he ever learned." Fine. You're going to hear a verse in there called "The Killing Floor." What a killing floor was, it was where they slaughtered animals. And he used this, brilliant. I mean, he used this as a metaphor that if you're so depressed and down in your life, the last place you want to be is on that killing floor. Showed me how to tune a guitar. Well, it's hard times here, and everywhere I go. It's hard times here, and everywhere I go. Hard
Hard times here and everywhere I go. Hard times here and everywhere I go. You say you have money, you better be sure, 'cause these hard times will drive you from door to door. Hard times here and everywhere I go. 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 And if I ever get off this old killing floor, I swear I'll never get down that low no more. Hard times here, hard times here and everywhere I go.
That was Jack. So he showed that to me right on his front porch, and I went back about 3-4 more times. He showed me all kinds of tunes. It was really cool. All right, I'm going to do a couple more. I have CDs here. If you want to take me home without taking me home, you can't take me home anyway. Bad, but you can't take me home with the CD. I'm the only guy that guarantees CDs.
Amen.
I do. I guarantee. Like here, this is the guarantee. If you are dissatisfied with any part of that CD, boy, I'm not even drunk. All you have to do is return the unused portion of it to me, and I'll return the unused portion here, $10. Why I do this thing? What do I want to play? Okay. All right, I think I'm gonna. Oh, somebody was telling me about Merle Travis. Who was talking about Merle Travis? Pete, you were?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do this one. You're gonna like this one. I get a call to go upstate New York to do a cable television show. The guy that runs it's a guitar player, and he had like all kinds of guitar players up there. He wanted to have me up there. I'm driving. It takes me in the port. It was raining cats, rats, and bats for 3 hours. I get up there just in the nick of time. I come in there with the guitar. He says, "All right, great. We're in Studio A." And there's the 3 cameras with one of the red lights on, and with things going. And he says, "So, Toby, how was the traffic coming up here? How long did it take?" I said, "Well, it's 3 hours, man. It was raining like crazy out there." "Oh, yeah." I said, "And what are you up to?" I said, "Well, I just got back from a tour of Germany, Cyprus in the Mediterranean, and England, and I just came out with a new CD." "Oh, that's great." And then he interviews me and I play. We get done with the taping, and he says, "Okay, we're going to do another one," which I wasn't planning on. I said, "Well, okay, we'll do another one." "Yeah, there's a lunchroom down the hall. You grab a soda or something." Great. I go down there. I come back. He's changed his clothes because it's another show. And I'm standing there in the same shirt, pants, and hat. And I said, if I would have known, it would have changed everything. People are going to think I have the same shirt. No, they won't, but they did. I heard it from somebody. So, "Don't you own any more than 2 shirts?" And anyway, he goes, "So, how is the traffic coming up here?" "Easy, real easy. Took me 3 minutes to walk here." "Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, what have you been up to?" "Drinking Coca-Cola in the lunchroom. That's what I've been up to." "Oh, so what are you going to play for us?" "Well, I know you're into Merle Travis." "Yes, I love Merle Travis." "Well, I'm going to play you the Cannonball Rag." "Whoa! Can you do that note for note?" I said, "Yeah, I can add a lot more notes if you'd like." "Okay, so here we go." so much for having me here. I hope everybody had a good time. All right, that's good. When I got out of high school, I hitchhiked across the country. Did actually, I was telling Sonny, I did that like 3 times back in 1974 to 76. And when I came back on the first time, this band picked me up. They said, man, you know, you want to play lead guitar with us? And these guys were 10, 12 years older than I was. But they were top shelf musicians. I said, sure. What kind of stuff we're going to do? And he says, well, we pull up to a club. We toured for 11 weeks up and down I-95. He said, if we pull up to a club and it's nice paved parking lot and Cadillacs and Eldorados, we're going to be doing a lot of... But if we pull up to a club and it's all dirt and pickup trucks, we're going to go... All right, so I said, okay, I got that. We had a pedal steel player who could play all of Duane Allman's parts. So we had a ball. Anyway, we did all these songs, and I wanted to do my instrumental version of Whipping Post. And I call it El Whipping Post because I bring a little bit of Mexicali in there. So here we go. I've been lied to, and I've been put down. I don't know why that woman treats me just like a fool. She took all my money, and she wrecked my new car. Now she's with one of my good time buddies, sitting in some cross-town bar. And sometimes I feel like I've been tied to a whipping post. Tied to a whipping post. Tied to a whipping post. Sometimes I feel like I'm dying. Thank you, everybody. Thanks a whole lot. Thanks. Thank you.
Hey, let's give it up for Toby. That was pretty great. Very nice. Thank you for such a wonderful evening. Listen, take a guess at some of these CDs, take it home, and just to remember such a wonderful night. And hopefully we can do it again. You know, and this was a wonderful day. The weather was cooperative, and Toby, just in case you don't know, Toby had just gotten over a condition with his left hand that, you know, for a musician, it's pretty scary. You don't know what's going to happen. And, you know, and fortunately, he was able to get together with a therapist that's able to work with him and get him back to where he should be. And I didn't notice any problems tonight. How about you guys? Yeah, a lot of the handwork. But Toby, thank you so much. God bless you. All right, stick around. There's plenty of food and drink, and no need to go anywhere just now. So, thank you again.
Sonny. Sonny.
Somebody's got whipping post and rainbow.
Outstanding.
Steady, steady, go steady.